Now then people, it's Joe, All Leeds TV. Sorry for the late upload, we've all got lives as you all guys know. A little bit change of scenery. I'm back in Armley, as you can see, my garage. Obviously the court case didn't go as planned. Hence the no suit, and I'm back in Armley. Hope everyone is doing okay. I just want to say thank you to everyone that got involved over transfer deadline day. Obviously myself, Oscar and Conor all did a stream. It was live, at one point I had nearly 400 viewers, watching me live. So thank you so much for that. We'll briefly touch on it now. The shit show that was the Daniel James deal. I'm not going to dig out the club. I thought they've done all they can. A lot of people were saying, why wasn't it done earlier? Why put all your eggs in one basket? Listen, Bielsa's that kind of man. He wanted James and only James. And to be fair, the club have been trying to do the deal for weeks. Obviously, Swansea, there was a sticking point there. There seems to be a breakdown in communication between Hugh Jenkins, their chairman, and obviously the American owners. Wasn't just us they screwed, they also screwed Aston Villa with Leroy Fer, it would seem. By all accounts, the deal was all agreed at 6 p.m. He'd been sat there, Daniel James, from 6 p.m. right the way through. His medical had done. He'd probably done all his welcome to Leeds videos, doing kick-ups in Ellen Road and all that jazz. All that was done. His agents come out and he seems to be absolutely fuming with the whole Swansea situation. And they've only screwed themselves because in 18 months he's out of deal. He ain't going to sign a new deal and he's going to be able to leave on a free. Whether or not that will be to Leeds, I honestly don't know. And the reason I say that is because, by then we could be Premiership bound. And will we look at someone like James, or will we be looking for someone a little bit better? So that dream move of his career may have gone, and that's all down to Swansea. By all accounts, we were willing to pay 1.5 million loan fee, and then if we did get to the Prem, obviously there'd be a further 7 million on top of that. And with add-ons, it could have risen up to 10. I think Swansea have been very, very silly. But it is what it is. It's happened. We didn't get him in, and I know that's a little bit disappointing. But like I say, it is what it is. Moving on now. Obviously, this is your Norwich preview. Massive, massive game. The game of the season so far for Leeds fans, probably for Norwich fans, and of course for the Championship as a whole. It's going to be quite a spectacle. Sold out at Ellen Road. Scarves up. Make sure you bring your scarves. Honestly, there's no better sight than when we get them scarves going, and the boys will need our support 100%. And the rest of the Championship's going to be watching that game as well, so hopefully we can lay down the marker. I mean, last time out we played them, obviously, we won 3-0, goals from Click, Alioski, and a quality strike by Pablo Hernandez. But let's not kid ourselves, there was a period prior to them goals when Norwich were on top, they just failed to score. And since that loss, they have only lost 3 games. Do you know what I mean? That's very, very good form. We know Norwich are in good form. But obviously since we beat them, they've only lost 3, and that came against Derby in the 4-3. If you remember when the floodlights went out, they lost to Bournemouth and they lost to Stoke. All of them are decent teams, Stoke beat us, obviously Derby's Derby, we battered them, but and Bournemouth are a good side, but they've only lost 3, and in terms of the form currently, they have only won 1 in the last 6, so you would look at that and think, they're not doing really that well, and that was a 3-1 win against Birmingham, who we've unfortunately lost against. But they've had a tough run of games. Obviously, they've got a draw against Sheffield United, very good side. Draw against West Brom, very good side. Draw against Brentford, again, very good side. And a draw against Forest, which we lost, you know what I mean? And the only game they lost is Derby, and that's very good form, some very difficult teams. So don't let that one win in 6 sort of like fool you into thinking they ain't on a good run. They've played some very difficult sides. And a further caveat to that, Norwich are undefeated in the last 12 away games. Norwich are going to be a very stern test. We know that anyway, obviously, where they are in the league, the amount of late goals, the players they have, Pukki, Oriol Hernandez, all these players, they're doing very, very well. And it's going to be it's going to be a difficult game. Look, ourselves, we've not been setting the world alight. We know that. We've got 2 wins in the last 6. An awesome display against Derby, and I thought it was a really battling performance away at Rotherham. You know what I mean? And it's going to be interesting because, like I say, Norwich undefeated in the last 12 away games. And us, you know, we've won 5 of the last 6 home games. It genuinely could go either way. I genuinely believe that. And the importance of the first goal is pivotal for me. Pivotal. Honestly, my prediction, I think it could be a draw. You know, obviously I want Leeds to win every single game. And I hope we do win. Would you guys take a draw? Would you? You know, because I think for me, you know, I'm excited, I'm nervous. I just don't know what to expect from the game, how it's going to pan out. You know, Oscar said on Talking Shut it could be 3-2. We as a collective went for 2-0 leads, and that's, fingers crossed, that happens. But it could be a draw. And what do you guys think? Would you take a draw? I mean, personally, at home, I would want us to win the game, depending on how the game pans out. But would I be unhappy with a draw against Norwich? Probably not, if I'm being totally honest. But if we win this game and win it well, we put down a marker, you know. And I've said for a while, and I said it on Talking Shut, and the lads were like, your optimism scares us. But I think if we beat Norwich and we have that 6-point gap, it is then ours to lose. And we have bodies, you know, coming back from injury. I'd have liked James in, obviously we know what happened there, but bodies are coming back, you know. We'll see Izzy, we'll see Paddy, we'll see Berardi, we'll see Douglas, KP. You know, and that moves me on to the lineup itself. Quite a shocker that Calvin Phillips isn't back in that side. For us as a fan group and as a collective, we would have thought that KP's going straight back into that side. But I did say, and I've said for a very long time now, Bielsa, for me, absolutely loves Forshaw. He's his boy. He's his boy, and for me, he's probably the first name on that team sheet. I know you might think that's wild, but listen, even in pre-season, before Click was even, you know, when he was in that middle ground, before he was integrated, you know, he said himself, you know, Forshaw is his, not, he didn't come out and say he's his boy, but he was so impressed by Forshaw. So, I'm really not that surprised to see that, you know. The lineup itself, the fact Pablo's fit is a massive, massive plus. Can't stress the importance of that. We were all worrying pre-derby, and he, you know, when Twitter went mental when he was like, Pablo's seen on the pitch pre-game, you know, he's so pivotal. Does he play right wing or does he play in the 10? Obviously Roberts, Bielsa's come out and said Roberts is playing. Is he going to put Roberts on the right? For me, Roberts, much like Roof, not a winger. Don't put him out on the wing. So I'm hoping, based on Roberts' performance against Rotherham, you know, and there was a game as well that he also affected a couple of weeks back. It's left my memory when he came on in the 10 and did a job there as well. So hopefully Roberts goes in the hole, and obviously out on the right goes Pablo, and on the left Harrison. You've got Casilla in goal, which is good stuff, because I thought he had a really good debut, and I think he'll just continue to impress. We all know the save from Volks. You know, Ailing at right back, Janssen Cooper at centre back, which is pivotal. Alioski left back. I personally thought Douglas would go straight back in, but you know, Alioski deserves that, because you know, he's played really, really well, and you can't fault the lad. For sure, you've got Harrison, Pablo, Click, Roberts and Roof. So let's see what happens there. I'll be interesting to see the bench as well. Obviously, Berardi's going to be on it, hopefully. Douglas, you're going to have Jack Clark on there, so he's going to be able to come on and affect the game late on. You know, this game, you know, if it is a draw, let's say it is tight, if anyone's going to win it, it's probably going to be late on. So yeah, I'm just really excited and nervous, and I don't know what to expect from the game. You know, I genuinely don't. Pre-derby, I was excited. I thought, nah, we can do derby. We've done them before. Rotherham, I said, would be tight, you know. It's like someone, I can't remember who said it now, but I think it was Gary on Talking Shut. He said previously when we were doing shit, you weren't bothered. Now you're just so nervous. You just don't want to lose the game. You know how important these games are. And I just hope we don't lose the game. Would I take a point? Shouldn't really at home, but listen, Norwich are undefeated in the last 12 away games. If we can beat them, that would be fantastic, and let's hope we can do that and we go out and we win 2-0. We win comfortably, but I don't think it's going to happen. I genuinely think, I'm going to hang my hat now and say we could see a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. But I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we win, and just make sure, you know, the atmosphere and that's going to be immense. You know, they're a set of grasses, you know, the whole fucking pink dressing room, they're just idiots, aren't they, Norwich? They seem to have been, you know, it's part of our history now for quite a few years, you know. We were once their fucking feeder club, for fuck's sake. But I am really excited, a bit nervous at the same time as well. But it's going to be a great spectacle. I hope we're on form, and I hope we stick 2 fingers up to the rest of the Championship and the Football League. Because, like I say, the whole Championship's going to be on this fixture. Obviously, you know, with it being a late kick-off, and as you know, everyone wants to see us fall, and hopefully people will want Norwich to win and all that jazz. But you know, let's hope we you know, come out winners. But I'm going to hang my hat on a 2-2 draw, as I've said. Let me know what you guys think, and if you get a chance to see us tomorrow, make sure you come over and say hi to myself, Oscar and Conor. But I'm going to leave you here, guys. Sorry for the late hour, you know what I mean? You know, as I've said, we all have lives. But thank you so much for your continued support. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Make sure you hit the like button, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. I'll definitely see you on YouTube if you ain't at the game, because like I say, post-match will be getting done. As you can expect, and let's hope it's a happy one. Let's hope it's full of "it's our time" doubters now. Let's hope all that happens, because I've said, and I've said now for a while, this game, if we can win this game, it is then ours to lose. You know what I mean? It's our time, all that jazz. We're going up as fucking champions. Now, you know how it goes though, guys. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching. March on together. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.